Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are currently descending into Egypt. Now, normally at this point I would actually have come along and shown you the entire sort of approach planning process before doing this. However, unfortunately, we've hit a bit of a snag. Cairo does not have any approach charts whatsoever available anywhere that I can see that aren't like 2 years old. Even more than that. I think the earliest I managed to find some from 2011. So I don't know what the deal with this is. The sim brief route, which I believe is taken from a real world flight plan, ended at the VOR, right at Cairo itself, at the Cairo VOR. So I don't know. I'm going to request a vectored approach if possible and try and explain to the controllers, who are actually online last I checked, the situation. Oh! Phew. Well, fucking... that was useful. They've actually gone offline. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I wasn't looking forward to having to explain myself on that one. We've had nothing but AIRAC data troubles today, because apparently it would seem that AIRAC data cycle 1605 does not have any approach procedures whatsoever for Cairo. I guess they saw me coming and were like, oh god, here comes another bloody Englishman who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Let's just get out of here rather than deal with this idiot. I don't want to hold my breath. They could come back on any second, because approach was on as was ground, so they could pop back on any minute. But we'll see. I mean, there's one departure actually in Cairo at the minute. MSR 738 to Oscar Juliet Alpha India. I believe that's Queen Alia in Jordan. Yeah. Alright, well that makes life a bit simpler. I was just bracing myself there because I was going to contact them shortly after BLT, which I still think is the most hilarious VOR name I've heard in a while. But still. Did have some controllers en route. I didn't bother to record it because it was literally just a couple of centre controllers that it was a case of me saying, "Jolly good evening to you, sir, how are you doing?" And then about 20 minutes later, "Jolly good evening to you, sir, I will see you next time." That's really all it was. It was check in, say hello, tell me to go direct to a waypoint, and then say goodbye again. That's really all it is on these long trips over various centre frequencies. But on the bright side, they were very, very polite, friendly fellows, especially the Turkish controller, who actually controlled a region which wasn't showing up on VATSpy because it's a brand new sector position apparently in Turkey. They now have a centre controller that controls the entire country above flight level 145, apparently, if you didn't know. I believe it's Lima Tango Uniform Papa is the sort of code for his position. So if you get to contact me from that fella, that's who it is. It's the upper airspace controller for Turkey. So I learned something today, which was quite cool. And hopefully so have you guys now, now I've told you this. So anyway, yeah, we're still descending. It looks like I get to choose what runway I'm landing on right now, so I guess we can enter this in now, just to make life a little bit easier. I'm going to take 05 left, I think? Yeah, 05 left. So let's go depart, arrival, ILS 05 left. Please, thank you very much. The CAI transition. Oh boy, it wants some drag. I don't think it really does. The VNAV in this plane is a bit sort of, it's like, oh, it panics a lot, essentially, is what it does. It gets all funny, like, it's like, oh god, I need drag, and it starts to level off like this. And then it actually sorts its shit out, and it doesn't need drag at all. Because as you can see, we're actually below the descent profile right now. We don't need drag at all. By the way, earlier, when I was saying about the insufficient fuel message being a bug, totally not. Totally operator error. Hopefully I remember to edit in a little message on the screen about that. Completely operator error. I didn't check my route, and there was a waypoint in there that was basically backtracking me all the way back across Europe again, back the way I'd come, and the FMC quite rightly said, "Mate, you have not got enough fuel for that." And I assumed it was being buggy. But it wasn't. It was me not checking my route in the plan mode like you're supposed to, and therefore, yeah, I came out of England and out into France still getting this message and going, what the hell's going on? And then realised there was another magenta line going straight back past me, and I thought, hang on a minute. And there it was. So, anyway, ILS-05 left, transition CAI. That's executed. I'm going to go to the legs page now. Yeah, see, because this is going to be a little bit funny. I believe I'm going to move CAI up over to there. This is what I did last time I planned this out. I love that you can do this and that, whoa, okay, camera got stuck there, apologies for any motion sickness. I like how you can do this in the FMC in the 767. You can just try stuff out, see if it works, and you don't have to worry about there being some sort of gizmo crash or the sim, or or the plane mucking up the LNAV or something like that. It just does it. You can just enter an arrival, see what it looks like, think, do I want that? Do I not? Do I want to try a different one? I'll try a different one. And you try a different one, and it just works. It's rock bloody solid. It has a few kinks here and there, like this, panicking occasionally, like I said, but yeah, on the whole, pretty solid. It's one of the reasons I really love this plane. So anyway, let's go flip you to plan. We'll steppity step down here. I think we'll zoom this in considerably. And yep, this is pretty much exactly what it says on the chart. We come down here, we make a right turn, we'll go all the way out here, following, basically it's a back course ILS approach. And we follow the ILS outbound, localizer outbound, and then we do a teardrop approach back in onto the ILS, like so. Or do we? No, correction, we do not. Well, I got that slightly backwards. We come in, and then we turn off to the right, and then swing a back round onto the ILS like that, which would make a lot more sense, now that I think about it. However, we may want... I think we're going to probably self-vector this a little bit, because the plane, as you can see, the projected speed and stuff like that, it's calculated that we will not be able to make that teardrop approach quite right. That's why it goes all jaggy off there. So what will happen is I think I will either vector myself over to the ILS, as I imagine they would do if there were a controller on, or yeah, I'll just take it out here, and then I'll make the teardrop approach thing here a bit wider. I'm wondering if there's something clever I could do with some point bearing distance commands in the FMC to actually do that. I might be able to. Let me have a think. I'd love to zoom this in a bit more if possible, get a better look. Here we go. So let's see. I don't know how to do a point bearing distance from a thing that's already effectively a bearing from an existing point. That's the tricky part. So, because I'd like to put another waypoint here, if possible. Honestly, I don't know how I would do that though. So, well, let's see. What waypoint are we basing this off? This is the India Zulu Foxtrot Lima over here. And we can, I guess we can just trial and error this a bit. So this out here is about 10 miles. So if we call it let's call it 20 miles, and then on a course of about, well, let's see, so this is 225. Oh, apologies. No, this is this right here is 10 miles from CII over here. So yeah, we'll call it 20, and then from there, 225 is this. So we'll call it 260. Let's try it. Okay, so CAI. No, it needs to come after this brackets D225 left. CAI. Bearing is going to be, let's try 260, and then distance 20. I don't know if I formatted this correctly or not, to be honest with you. Not in database. Okay. 260 slash 20. Ah! ha 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 ha! It was a bit off. I say a bit off, it was incredibly off. But I got the format right, that's what matters. Not really, actually, at all. That's not what matters. It's okay, so I overestimated that completely. So let me move that back up there. And let me try... 20 miles is probably a bit much, so let's try C-A-I 15 and then call it to 35. Please? I'll execute. And I'll try it. Where is it? Erase. Okay, I can't get it to work right now. Never mind. That was me attempting to be clever and not quite understanding how it bloody works. Never mind. I got it right the first time, though. That's what confuses me. Oh, well. Anyway, so... yeah, I'll just eyeball it, I guess. That's what I'll do. I can set up some fixes, I suppose. So let's see. If we go... CAI. That's our first fix. BAW155, I think is going to be it. Yep, that's the one we want. And we do a distance of 10. That point there, that's when we start descending on the ILS. That point right there. So that's cool. We can have another fix in here. I'm wondering if we can get away with using one of these here. I don't think we can, because they're not proper fixes, and it's the same problem as we had a minute ago. We go... D brackets D225L. Could try it. Can you even type brackets on this thing? No. No, you can't. No, unless I do this. Copy and paste it. No. I thought maybe good old Boeing copy pasta would come to the rescue there, but it looks like no. Alright, forget that then. We'll make our second fix the actual ILS itself. IZFL. ZFL. And then from that we'll put in 4 DME. There you go, now we've got a second line there. Second dotted line, got to have those dotted lines. There we are, so yeah, 10 there from the VOR, that's when we descend on the glide path. 4 here is when we need to start really decelling for landing. So that's all cool. Where's our location on this? Right here. Oh yeah, this can be zoomed way, way, way back in. Holy crap. Yeah, that's better. We're a little bit of the way out still. I'm just going to double check there aren't any controllers back online right now. Nope, they would have sent me a contact me at the time. You sometimes miss them, which is not good, obviously. So, okay, we're descending at 240 knots. I'm not really sure why. Honestly, we're still above 10,000 feet, but okay. Let's put that back to map. How are we doing on the vertical profile? We're still slightly below it, so that's okay. Is there some sort of speed restriction I'm not aware of? At Cairo? You have to be below 240 knots within a certain distance of the airport? If I actually had approach charts that I could look at, I'd be able to tell you, but I don't. So, I honestly don't know why the aircraft is slowed to 240 knots. It's pretty weird. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 CAIs. in there. I think that must all be part of the missed approach though, because there's a holding pattern there, which I think is what that is actually. So I'm not gonna mess with that. That's all actually looking correct, even though it sort of doesn't look correct. Right. All right. So we got some fix info, and we've got an approach path of sorts. If my knowledge of Boeing systems was a bit better, I might be able to do something a little bit more interesting with this, but as it stands, I'm afraid I can't. There is one thing you can do with later Boeing FMCs, it's certainly the one on the 737NG, where you draw a big old course line out from there, a big old pink course line that you can intercept. To track in on the localizer, but you can't actually do that in this FMC, and I think that's because this is an older FMC, clearly, because it's got a bloody CRT screen, for fuck's sake. But it's an older plane, it's a different version of the Boeing FMC operating system, if you like, if you want to think of it that way. So there's certain commands in this don't work in other ones, and so on and so on. Which is what tripped me up with the IXEG, to be honest with you, because of that whole thing where I thought the plane not working with its VNAV was a bug, but it actually wasn't. It was just that early operating system for the FMC didn't calculate VNAV unless you put an arrival in real life. So anyway, there is Cairo itself by the looks of things. That has got to be it. That's probably Cairo West or something. And there's a couple of airfields around here. Let's see if we can identify all of them. I think that, in fact, that's Giza and Baba. I think possibly there is one single strip runway like airfield out there somewhere, and then further west is Cairo West, which is a military base. That surely has got to be Cairo itself. Now the scenery I've got for Cairo is freeware. According to the author, it's not actually finished yet, but what's with the blue glow out there? Is it a moon? Is it the full moon or something? Oh, look at that. Yeah, it is the moon. It's apparently not actually finished, but it looks fantastic from what I've seen, and it beats, hands down, the old Cairo scenery I used to have installed, which I think was from X-Plane 9 and didn't have proper HDR lighting or anything like that, so I'm guessing that's it down there anyway. There's not much to see, is there, really? I mean, I talked a big talk about nice X-Plane night lighting, but I suppose out in the desert, there isn't much night lighting. I do have a few little bits of scenery installed for the pyramids and whatnot, and the Sphinx and a few other local landmarks, but again, it's night time, so we can't fucking see them. If we do the return trip, I will do the return trip, but if I record the return trip, is what I really mean to say, we might get to see them. Because I think the return trip for this flight leaves in the morning, so yeah, we're going to basically go in and we're going to overfly the airport. In fact, that might even be our runway over there now I think about it. It's 05 left is actually separated from the other two by quite a bit. It's a bit like that awkward runway at Amsterdam that's all the way out from the rest of them. Oopsie daisy. Right, actually, you know what? It's a good time to... Having just accidentally nudged the altimeter, it's a good time to check what the local altimeter is. It is, in fact, 1016, so let's set that now. As close as I can, anyway. There we go. Put that on both sides, and we'll set the standby as well. There we go. Very nice. We'll arm auto brake 2. And we better set some minimums as well. The minimums for 05 left are apparently 460, I think. That's Barrow, mind you, and you can only set radar altimeter, radar minimums on this plane, as far as I can see. So, in fact, what I am going to do is should be about 270, I think. Yeah, that should be correct. Minimums of 270 is set. Doing 240 knots in here now. Let's pull the map zoom right back in. Oh, you know what? Actually, the night lighting ain't that bad at all. It's actually quite cool. It's not exactly Vegas or LA, but it's pretty cool. You can see all the traffic down there and stuff. Good old X-Plane night lighting. For the win. What's the wing view like? Let's just see out there, just desert really, I suppose. I'd show you more of the cabin, but it's just the default cabin. I have another livery that I've been working on, which is a more modern 767 for BA that I have actually redone the entire interior in British Airways colours, but that we will have to save for another day because it's not installed with this current livery by Mr. Cranky. I'm actually thinking of porting it across though, but I'd like to change it so that it's slightly more old-fashioned. Like I'd quite like to get rid of the LCD screens on the back of the seats and stuff like that, and that sort of thing. Just to represent a sort of earlier version of 767 with the old BA Landor livery like this one has. So yeah. Anyway. Sorts of stuff down there. Anyway, nice. So here we go. We're basically doing the back course right now. If we were flying this slant alpha, this would be quite a bit of fun actually. But we're not. We're flying with a big old FMC and RNAV and all that gunk. I probably should have taken the RNAV approach really, to be honest with you. It's BA standard operating procedure to do that because of pilot workload and stuff. And speaking of pilot workload, I need to set the ILS frequency 110.9. Let's do that now. 110.9 in the course, 045. There we go. Right. Wouldn't have done to have that not set by the time we came back around. Alright, looks like we're going to go into heading mode pretty soon, so I'm going to get that new course change ready there. Get that primed and ready to go, and I'm simply going to hit heading select in the middle there when the moment comes. And then, as I said, I will come out there and we'll swing it back in. It's actually turning us right now. But I'll let the LNAV do its thing for the moment, and I'll sync up the heading as we come around here. Like that. Now we're in heading select. We're going to get down to 2,500 by the time we swing around onto the localizer. We're doing 1,000 feet per minute right now. We could do with descending a bit faster than that, so I'm going to go VS. 2,000 feet per minute. I will extend a little bit of speed brake. If it will let me, please. Oh, using the wrong click spot, that's why it's not working. There we go, a little bit of speed brake to aid with that descent while keeping our speed under control. Speaking of our speed, let's go ahead and bring that back to 220 knots. I'll switch my map mode to centralized map. There we go, so I can actually get to see what's behind me now as opposed to just the arc in front. Okay, I might have enough time now to do a quick checklist. Make sure we've not forgotten anything. Approach checklist, altimeter is set, map integrity is verified. Map integrity, by the way, in case you didn't know, is cross-checking your DMEs with what's actually on the screen. Ours is fine though, so well, that's brought us down to 2,500 quite nicely actually. Alright, let's put the speed brake away now. I will actually bring out flaps 1, which should just bring down the slats on the leading edge of the wings. Okay, like I said, bringing this around a little bit wide, just so we can quite neatly get onto that localizer as opposed to overshooting it like it's projecting. We'll pretty much do there. Okay, now we can start bringing this around. Good stuff, okay. Right.
Terrain.
Oh god, I forgot the GPWS in this aircraft goes absolutely bananas. We'll get ready to override that, I think, momentarily, if it starts going nuts on final, like it sometimes does. Right, we're at 2,500. This feels incredibly low, but that's exactly what is on the chart at this point of the, this part of the maneuver. The entire point of this turn right now is to get us down to 2,500. Probably took this a bit wider than I needed to, but that's okay. I'd like to just quite neatly and by the book intercept that ILS localizer at a good 30-degree angle like you're supposed to, as opposed to whatever that was. Because that right there will be absolutely perfect. Alright, here we go. I suppose that must be the Nile down there. Okay, here we go. I'm now going to arm the localizer. Final approach fixed altitude is indeed 2,500, just checking that, yep. And we will intercept the glide slope approximately 10 miles from the Cairo VOR. If I zoom this out just a tad, in fact I can bring this back into arc mode, there we go. You can just see that point I talked about, 10 miles from Cairo VOR, now marked using the fix on our ND here, so... You don't have to do that, by the way. That's just a thing I like to do to give me a bit of extra situational awareness. Particularly, I mean, right now, a bit superfluous perhaps, but if you're online and there is lots of ATC and there's also lots of traffic and things are getting a little bit hectic, it can help to just have a big green dotted line telling you where you need to intercept the glide slope. It can help a hell of a lot, as a matter of fact. Okay, we've got the localizer. I'm going to go flaps 15. And I'm going to arm approach as well, so that'll grab the glide slope as soon as this purple diamond here reaches the center point. It starts to drift down. Oh shit, hello. Yeah, we need to reduce speed as well. Let's take this down to 160 knots. Go ahead and put the gear out. You can get the gear out very early in this aircraft, by the way. It even says it on here somewhere, I think. Yeah, extend gear, 270 knots. You can get the gear out while going pretty damn fast in this thing if you need to. There we go. Oh yeah, speed's coming back big time now. We've got all that drag out. Excellent. Yeah. Shut up. We are completely fine. Okay, we're slightly below 2,500, interestingly. I'm not quite entirely sure why or how that has occurred, but it has. But that's okay.
Pull up.
Actually, no, flaps 15 is fine for just the second. It's going to extend it a bit further, but we can do that once we get to 4 DME. So we're going to maintain 160 knots until 4 DME. We don't have to. We're by ourselves. There's nobody else here apart from that fella down there who hasn't departed yet, apparently. We're not in a rush, but it's good practice to get yourself into, purely because at most airports with busy traffic and stuff, and you've got controllers talking to you, etc, 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 they will ask you to maintain 160 knots or greater until 4 DME before landing. It's just a very general kind of command that you'll get sometimes. It's general sort of standard operating procedure a lot of places. So anyway, there we go. We've got the glide slope. I'm going to now go to pretty much all the way to flaps 30. I'm not really checking my speeds here, folks. I've got to be honest with you. It's been a bloody long time since I've flown this thing in the sim. I can't remember what the speeds are. It looks like we're probably okay though. Yeah, the Bible pole's just above where we are speed-wise right now. So we've got lots of drag. We've dirtied up the plane quite nicely. Runway's just ahead now. Got the glide slope, we've got the localizer, we are fully established. I'm going to immediately now start bringing this back speed-wise to our final approach speed, which is going to be about 136 knots. Got quite a crosswind actually, so it might need to be higher than that. I think I'll go with 135 140 knots. Final speed there. So it's now decelling. I still don't have control of the plane. Well, I do, but I'm still not manually taking control. I'm going to do that in just a second. Can I click there? No. I have to use it up here. And... okay. Here we go. So as not to completely disrupt the approach, I think I'm going to take control more or less, or almost the last second. Now we'll leave the auto throttle in as well. For the approach. This is a bit of a concession to the fact that we're in a sim and not reality. In reality, I only have a co-pilot to flick that out for me, and I know exactly where the throttles are, but it's a bit funky in the sim, so I usually leave the auto throttle in until landing, and then I hit the reversers button, which then simultaneously disengages that, idles the throttles, and puts the reversers out. So, okay, here we go. Round about now would be a good time to bring out the autopilot. So, my aircraft. There was a minimums call out. I didn't hear it.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, don't float it. There we go. That'll do. Okay, reverse. You know what? You know what? Like I told you, it's been a while since I flew this bloody plane. If you're wondering, on the final approach there, Dave, isn't it a bit dark out that window? Yeah. That's because it is a bit fucking dark out that window. Okay, manual braking. Reverse is stowed. Let's quickly shuffle off this exit right here. There we go. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, kind of forgot the landing lights there. Told you it's been a while. No worries. Believe it or not, sometimes they do land without the lights in real life. I thought it was nonsense, but actually I did. I saw a video the other day of an A380 landing in the evening without its lights on. And sometimes they do that for various different reasons. But admittedly, I'm really just covering for the fact that I'm a fucking idiot and forgot my lights in the middle of the night in Cairo, so let's get the runway taxi lights and turn off lights on. We're off the runway now, so we can kill the big landing lights. We'll kill the strobe, and we will squawk. Oh, that's not even the right dial. Where is it? It's too freaking dark. Hold on. There we go. With squawk standby. I think I'll leave these floods on. Right. Flipping heck. Alright, let's get a ground chart at the ready. Figure out where the heck we are. Oh, look. It's a British Airways something. Might even be a 767. I'm not sure. I can't tell from this angle. Okay, let's have a look. So we are on for well, we've exited 05 left. I think we're on Alpha 5 right now. So we want to continue onto Alpha. Let's see. Bloody hell, this is confusing. Yeah, I think we're still on Alpha here. Yeah, we are, and then we'll continue right down here, down Alpha, past what was once runway, I think, or is possibly a runway under construction to our left somewhere. And yeah, I'm wondering, actually, honestly, if I shouldn't just park over here at what I think is meant to be Terminal 1, although it's all a bit confusing, because like I said, the scenery is not technically finished yet. Yeah, we'll just head around here and we'll get over to Terminal 3 instead. I know there's a BA parked over there, so in theory that's probably where we should be, but nah, there's not even a building there. Fuck it, I'm going to Terminal 3. See ya. Okay, auto brakes. Now, again, do I leave these in until the gate or not? What is standing operating procedure? on a Boeing 767? Well, I can tell you, because I got a checklist. After landing, you see, I didn't do the landing checklist, which would have alerted me to the fact that I didn't have any fucking lights out. Also, we can now clean up the flaps and spoilers and stuff. Forgot about that too. Oh dear. This is the effect that talking and recording a video has. I think if I was flying this by myself, I would have easily remembered all this shit, but because I'm busy devoting half of my flying brain to talking to you lot at home, I keep forgetting random shit that's sort of pretty much elementary crap that you should be able to remember. Either way, after landing checklist, APU, we can now start. This is why checklists are useful, really, because even when I'm talking bollocks, I can still remember to do stuff, because it's written down. Exterior lights are as required, speed brake is down, flaps are up, stab trim, reset that to 3 units, apparently we need to do, so let's do that. That's reset to about 3 right there, I think. Yep. Weather radar off. It's already off, actually. We can turn the terrain off, though, as well. On both sides. Transponder is set to cabin crew. When approaching the stand, we'll tell them to set the doors to manual and cross-check. It doesn't say anything about the auto brakes. So I'm guessing we can disarm them right away. The reason why I don't always immediately do that, in case you're wondering, is because I learned not too long ago that on the 777, not entirely dissimilar aircraft to this, if you disarm the auto brakes while you're taxiing along merrily away back to the stand, the brakes will actually completely lock up, and you obviously don't want that to happen. So, yeah, that's why I've not done it. Anywho, I really am taxiing out into the middle of nowhere right now, aren't I? Oh my days. Where am I? Luckily, we're exactly where I thought we were on the chart. Kinda. I think, yeah, we're on Golf Taxiway now by the looks of things, actually, as opposed to Alpha, which I thought we were. Golf Taxiway apparently seems to be, I think that's why I was like, it's a fucking wide taxiway. This was previously a runway by the looks of it. It's now Taxiway Golf, though, and we're going down here. And then we'll take a right on Bypass 3, it's called. Onto Tango, I think. Or is it Sierra? No, onto Sierra, and then we'll flip an egg. Confusing or what? Doesn't help that we're in the middle of the dark. Let me just get rid of those frequencies at the top, right? We don't need those. Alright, we've got signs. What does that say? Golf 0523 Center. That's Golf meeting up with a runway. So next right, I think, is what we want. Okay, we can take off these flight directors while we're at it. Turn that on. APU's spooled all the way up, that's good. Whoopsie daisy. That didn't do anything catastrophic, no, we're okay. APU gen is on. We can, ooh, turn on the APU bleed as well if we like. Oh, there is the next right. Hello. Let's just slide on through here, thank you very much. Okay, I see terminal buildings up in front. That's a good sign. Looks like I'm probably going to be splitting this video into 2 as per usual. I usually aim to not do that, honestly, but I suppose 2 40-minute videos is better than 1 2-hour video or something. Oh, there's another fella over there. He doesn't seem to have moved at all since we were landing earlier. Don't know what's going on with him right now, but okay. He must be just completely AFK or something. I mean, He's not the same guy that we saw on Vad Spy earlier, is he? He totally is. Yeah, he's just been sat here the last like 20 minutes. Okay. Let's get the parking chart for Terminal 3. I really don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you. I think I'll just grab whatever stand I can. There isn't one of these remotes, anyway. Yeah, we're going to want to be over there somewhere. Yeah, not the greatest scenery in the world. I mean, that's just default Lego brick stuff over there. But trust me when I say it is much better than the stuff I had installed previously. This is honestly the previous scenery I had for Cairo was really putting me off doing this flight. It really was. So I'm glad I have at least something that's vaguely serviceable. I suppose that's the wonderful thing about X-Plane. Really, you just you're always going to get something that's vaguely work. What the? Okay. What is this? What the? I guess we're taking a remote stand, boys and girls. Bloody hell. Well, that is interesting. On the chart, I can go through there. Clearly not in the scenery, though. Fascinating. Okay, anyway. Right, let's kill the lights. Being the cabin, I suppose, while we're at it. Try and park in this one here. Now we've done a fucking Yui. Is that a oh, we got a marshaller. Very cool. Yeah, mate, you're gonna have to bear with me here, I'm afraid. Take it a bit to the left doesn't even quite come close. I'm gonna have to take this really wide and try and swing in right on the bloody stopper. Yeah, alright, mate. Don't cut it too close. There we go. That's when he says stop. Bloody hell. Okay, parking brake is in. Flippin' heck. Right. Let's well, yeah, let's just kill the engines. Okay, engines are offline. Take out the beacon. And the APU is now just flickered online instead of the engines. Very cool. I love that little effect. That's so nice. Okay. Good stuff. And that's really all there is to it. I guess now we can simply pop down here. Load config. Get our ground handling boys to drive up and deboard our passengers. We'll open the doors, say goodbye to the passengers. And turn off the seatbelt lights actually while we're at it. Oh, thank you for that, Bav. Thank you for that. 119.6. That was probably outrageously loud, that beep. Sorry, guys. Hopefully I'll remember to tone it down a bit in the editing. 119.6 for the position report. At the stand, have landed. Get off my back. Okay. Let's quickly run through the shutdown. Parking brake is set. Fuel control is cut off. Hydraulic systems are set. External power can go on, and the APU can go off. Hydraulic systems, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and depressurize those. Turn off the yaw damper. We can kill the IRSs because we're not going anywhere till tomorrow morning anyway. The fuel system, We can turn off the pumps. Seatbelt signs are off. Air conditioning is set because we're using ground air conditioning right now, so that's okay. And the beacon is off. The transponder is on standby. The flight deck door is now officially unlocked. Secure checklist. IRSs are off. Window heat is now off. APU ground power is as required. Packs. I guess, yeah, we can go ahead and turn you off as well. Packs are off. Ground service bus is as required. And battery off if APU off, apparently. So off it goes. And that is the secure checklist complete. Oh, hello. Secure checklist complete. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Egypt. We do hope you enjoy your stay. Turn on the floodlights, there we go. Turn off all this. Don't need that. We do hope you'll enjoy your stay. We'll see you again. For those of you that are coming back in the following morning, I will hopefully be taking you back to England, provided Dave didn't break the plane when he landed it. He's going to have some explaining to do about his landing lights for certain. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's, my god, it's a bit flat now, empty, isn't it, here? No word of a lie. I wonder what it looks like in the daytime. Well, you'll probably have to stick around for the next video to find out, if I had to guess, folks. If I decide to record the return trip, I may not, to be honest with you. It just depends. But yes, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back again in the future with more stuff, mostly more live streams, to be honest with you. I'm getting my internet connection upgraded fairly soon, so hopefully I'll be doing some nice high-definition streams, which will hopefully translate onto YouTube quite nicely, because that's honestly the main reason I don't put my streams up on YouTube very often, is because the quality is a bit rubbish, honestly, but hopefully that will improve in the future. Future videos coming up, obviously there will possibly be the return trip for this if people are interested, and in addition to that, I might have a TriStar video coming in P3D. I've had some requests for that since I started flying it, because it's a bit of a, again, a bit of an underrated plane that's very underrepresented, I think. Even though I absolutely love it, I think the TriStar is fantastic, one of my favourite planes of all time. And the Captain Sim one is very, very good. So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Logo light, please. Thank you. There we go. It's nice to see the nice BA logo. So yeah, and other stuff in the future, don't know really. The FlyJ Sim 727 is getting an update relatively soon. I'd like to be able to cover that when it comes out. The Felis Tupolev 154 is going to be coming out at some point. I'd love to do a video of that, because that plane looks like it's going to be fantastic. In addition to that, I've been doing a lot of stuff on Pilot Edge lately. Mostly by myself, not streaming, not recording videos, but it's all in preparation for doing so. So you can probably expect more Pilot Edge related shenanigans in the future. Not quite yet, but it's in the works. So yeah, hopefully, because the video I did on Pilot Edge last time and the streams I've done on Pilot Edge in the past seem to have been incredibly popular with you folks. So I'm endeavouring to get a bit more of that underway. But for now, we'll just have to wait, I'm afraid. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling. Enjoy your stay in Cairo, ladies and gentlemen. Go and see the sights, go see the pyramids, do whatever you want to do, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Well, not really tomorrow morning, but whenever the next video is, in theory, tomorrow morning in sim time, for the return trip back to rainy, shitty England. Hopefully we'll make it as pleasant as possible. Thanks very much, everybody, and I will catch you next time. Toodles!